guys, so for today's tutorial I am going to be showing you how to make these coasters. They are horror themed coasters that are made out of epoxy. What you will need is what was pictured before, and then also what I didn't add in, whatever glitter of your choice. I only showed this one on the supply photos, but I also use this chunky glitter that I got at Michael's. It's Recollections brand. That is what is in this one, if you guys could see it. I have my camera set up differently today, so it's a little difficult to know exactly what is in your shot. This is what the back looks like. I'm going to be showing you how I created this, and I added some red acrylic paint to the epoxy to try to give it a blood splatter effect. I'm not too sure if I like it or not, but I don't know if you guys could see it on camera. I have this one already poured. I'm going to show you how to take it out of the mold. These are the molds. They're made out of silicone. I got these on Amazon and it was in a pack of 4. It was in a pack of 4. I've already created one just because I wanted to see how adding the acrylic paint would work. I didn't want to record it and it be a fail, but I think I like how it looks. This one is Texas Chainsaw Massacre themed Leatherface. And this one, I haven't decided yet. I already have my decals printed on Craftables printable vinyl. We're gonna do Freddy, we're going to do Chucky, and we're going to do Pennywise. So before we pour these 2 molds, we are going to take this one out and add the decal, and I'm going to show you how we seal it in, okay? So basically all you do is pull the mold off and pull your coaster out. This one I didn't add a lot of epoxy to like I did the Leatherface one, so it's just a tad bit thinner, but it's still pretty durable, as you can see. This is what it looks like without the red acrylic paint mixed in. And again, this is just a mix of this holographic glitter and the 2 chunky glitters from Michael's. So now we are going to add a decal to this one. Let me move the Leatherface out of the way. For this one, we will do Chucky. So I'm just going to peel my decal. And place it on. The surface of these measures out to 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches. So that is what I measured them at so that they could fit. You want to make sure it's pressed down properly. And this is what they look like without epoxy sealing it in. When you're going to be using epoxy, you want to look into everything you could do to keep yourself safe. A lot of them say you don't need a respirator, that it's non-toxic, but I've had a reaction to even all of those. It's not severe, but I have seen some that can be pretty severe. So normally, like I said, when I epoxy, I do it and I get out of the room. You're gonna want some gloves. You don't want vinyl gloves because the epoxy can seep right through. So the kind that I use are these. I still can't tell if it's upside down or not, so sorry guys. These are the kind that I use. You can easily just mix some acrylic paint or alcohol inks into your epoxy to give your coaster color without any glitter. But since I'll more than likely keep these, I am going to use glitter. What I'm also going to do, because these do take a bunch of epoxy, and I could only mix so much in these tiny measuring cups, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put part A and part B to the top of each of these, and then I'm going to pour it into this bigger plastic cup to stir it. You don't want to mix too big of a batch at a time because it will get hot and it will start the curing process a lot faster. I pour it directly in the middle because epoxy is self-leveling if it's on a flat surface like this. That should be good enough. And then what you're going to want to do is just help it out a little by making sure that it covers your surface completely and evenly. Okay, so now we just have to let that sit and cure. I will more than likely leave it overnight. It's already mixed. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to add, you know what? We'll use this one for the base. I'm gonna show you how I did the blood splatter. I cannot even speak. So you're gonna pour it to where it only, you don't wanna fill the mold. You just want to get an even amount just to cover the base, if that makes any sense. And you're not adding anything to the epoxy yet. I might try something different because with the first one I tried to add blood to, right after I poured it like this, I added the acrylic paint and it kind of mixed in more than I wanted it to because the epoxy was still not set at all. So I think what I'm gonna do is let this harden because I think within like, if I let it set for maybe like 30 minutes, it should get a little bit hard. This way the acrylic paint will hold its shape. So we're just gonna set this aside and we're gonna mix another batch to do the glitter one now. And I think for this one, I'm just going to use the holographic glitter. You can also find this on Amazon. I don't think I'm gonna add the chunky to this one. You just want to put a good amount, stir it a little, and then check to see if you have the coverage you like. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so now we're just going to pour it into this mold. Probably let this cure overnight before I add the decal to it. I am going to charge my camera for a bit and take a break, turn on the fans like I said to get some air, and then I will be back to show you guys how I add the blood or the acrylic paint to give the blood effect into this one. Okay, this has been curing for maybe an hour. I took a break for about an hour, got out of the room, let the fan on to air it out, and also turned on the air purifier. If you guys can see on my arm, I'm starting to get the rash already, so I'm gonna hurry up. I'm just going to add, this is Apple Barrel brand acrylic paint in Tuscan Red. I believe I got it from Walmart. I'm just gonna add a little bit into a measuring cup. We'll see how this works since this is a little bit hard already. And I also got a straw. It's just a plastic straw, and I'm going to use this to create the blood splatter. So I'm dipping it into the paint, and then I'm going to blow air into this side to create a blood splatter effect. I put this towel down on my desk because I don't want to get epoxy or paint on it because it'll ruin it.